Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Thoughtful Leaders, an initiative under Thoughts on Education by collegedunia.com. Today, we have with us Dr. Manju Raghuvani, Head, School of Film and Media, ADYPU, Pune. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
I would like to begin by enlightening our audience with a brief introduction of yours. Dr. Manju is a multifaceted media, entertainment, and communication professional with over a decade of experience in field of journalism, communication, public relations, and media training. She has been awarded a PhD by Savitribai Phule University of Pune in 2016. Her areas of specialization are journalism, advertising, public relations, experimental communication, corporate communications, and content publishing. She has written several articles in leading national and international TV's publishing firms. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Margaret. Yes.
Shall we begin, ma'am?
Yes.
So, ma'am, the first question that I have for you is that as a school head, what is the latest program that you are offering in your institute department which will help the students outperform and stand apart from the crowd?
Thank you, College Dunia, for having selected me to be a part of this wonderful show on thoughtful education. And first and foremost, it's this platform that has changed the way we communicate.
Yeah.
The new pandemic world has transformed great changes in this, and not only in the film and media entertainment space, but it has affected and touched each and every life, right from education, banking, healthcare, medicine, and media and entertainment is no different.
Definitely.
What actually really sets apart is we are in a very interesting times of cutting edge technology. There is a huge wave of digital transformation which has happened in the entire media, entertainment, and communication wave. We have moved to a beautiful time, exciting time from we media to me media.
Yeah.
Gone are the times where we look forward to watch a television show or watch a news channel or read a daily newspaper or to know what's happening around us. Today, what has really happened is the digital convergent technology has made our lives much more simpler. You get information then and there in real time.
Yeah.
If I want to communicate a news event or a story or a campaign I want to announce, my best platform is a social media. And this platform actually becomes virulent every second, within a second. That's a huge impact media and communication has created.
Yes.
Now, what really sets up, keeping up with these changing dynamics in terms of technology, the business dynamics, and the creative dynamics, the school has three very innovative programs which are very interdisciplinary in nature. Our three flagship programs at the school is BBA Media and Communication, BBA Film and Media, and BBA Digital Marketing and Social Media.
Okay.
Fortunate enough to be part of this journey of creating these three unique and innovative programs since inception. The whole endeavor of creating a BBA in Media and Communication or a BBA in Film and Media, which is unheard of, or BBA in Digital Marketing and Social Media, which is gaining popularity thanks to the new times that we are savoring the moment right now.
Yes,
Now, what set us really apart from other programs in other schools and universities, we never ever had, media was always looked upon as a program for creation. It was a platform, it was a program where I want to explore my hidden talent in writing, in speaking, in listening, and so on and so forth. But today, things have actually changed. Media has become the business. And the dynamics of business have changed across the entire 9 spectrums of the media and entertainment industry. Be it print has gone online. Be it television, you get to watch on your TV. Be it radio, you get to listen to your podcast. So, be it filmmaking, it's all the OTT platforms we are seeing today, and all the multiplexes, single theaters is seeing a new wave out there. So what has really happened is media today has become a more personalized form of communication. It's more personalized form of education, empowerment, and entertainment. Today, what I love to watch is all in my handset.
Exactly.
That is the power. The media has changed for the best and for the good. Now, what is the 3 USP of my program that we are all trying? On one side, we are creating content for media. Every media, whether it is print, TV, radio, film, all have integrated and have gone digitally on a digital platform. So what we are trying to do at the school, the program endeavors, there are 2 sides of it. One is you learn how to tell a story. Storytelling becomes the prime USP of this program. You will learn technology. Once upon a time, it was Orchid. It was simple messaging. It was WhatsApp. It is SMS. Today, nobody, filmmakers or even I and you, homemakers, never imagined that we're going to tell a story, a cookery show on a YouTube channel. And they are already riding high with millions of influencers and millions of fan following there. That is an impact. And the same impact we want to create in our course from the first year till the final year of our program.
Okay.
So what we are trying to do is, every 3 program is different. The BBA Media and Communication is all about the selling side of a story product. A newspaper is a product. A web series is a product. A television reality show, Bigg Boss OTT is a product. But how do you market it and reach out to the right set of viewers is what this course emphasizes around. So the first year courses, the first year we call it as a foundation year. We actually train the skills of students of both audio-visual skills, speaking skills, written skills, and reading skills. Basically, in short, we teach them, let's put it this way, we teach them the communication skills through the written word, through the sound, and through the visual. Okay. So, in the first year, it's a common foundation course across all the 3 programs together. And the whole beauty of this foundation course is to help the student, when they enroll in the course, to choose what they love to learn. So we take them to the entire dynamic of the entire media and entertainment universe and how the business works across the client planet. I call them the 9 planets. So the first year primarily focuses on the dynamics of media business, digital photography, fundamentals of marketing, fundamentals to visual communication, audio-visual communication, and so on and so forth. What is really set us apart from other programs? At the end, we train the students to develop their portfolios. We make sure that they make their first short film, a short story, as a medium, as a powerful form of expression. If we do not train our students to express their ideas and the thoughts from the day one of the course, then they will not be able to take it to the next final semester, which our endeavor is we train them to create their e-portfolios. Media and entertainment and courses marks is irrelevant. For us, the real student success achiever is the quality portfolios, the creative portfolios that the students build for themselves for the employers of tomorrow. Because what you learn today is obsolete tomorrow with technology. Technology will come, will go. Nobody expected Insta to become a big hit right now.
Yeah.
So, but what the underlying fact will remain is the art of storytelling techniques. The program emphasis that the student should be able to express their story for all the media and communication platforms. That is one side of the course. The other side of the course is the students should be able to pitch their story and mint money for themselves and earn revenue for their own content that they have created for themselves. And the course is directing the project, is directing the student towards that direction. At the end of the course, you should learn how to, simple words, how to tell your own story. At the same time, how to tell your own story. And this is the thumb rule. This is a least minimum expectation across all the 3 platforms of our course program.
Okay.
That's what sets us apart from different. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, when pandemic hit us, it forced all the universities and the institutes across India and even in the foreign countries to shed their offline classes. And then it was difficult for the faculties, especially, to make the online classes interactive, interesting, and like, again, the attention span of a student is so low that we know. So they have to, like, unko focus karwana padta hai in the classes. So in such a way, how did you train yourself and the other faculties and adapt it to the situation?
First and foremost, Garvit, the pandemic helped us to unlearn and relearn what we are doing today.
Yeah.
Faculty across all universities were following a set pattern of teaching and learning.
Yeah.
In our case, it has been really very different. We really had to reinvent the entire model of teaching and learning processes with the students and the faculty at large. To begin with, when the pandemic hit us, it actually gave us a huge opportunity for all the teachers to be adaptable with the technology.
Yeah.
Second, it has boosted the innovation quotient of the faculty to try new ways of teaching, new ways of delivering a lecture, new ways of reaching out to them. Yes, no doubt about it. For us, during the pandemic, we experimented new ways of online content, online pedagogy, online teaching initiatives, especially for a media-related course like photography, filmmaking, visual communication. These are all hands-on courses. But as I always said, the focus was more, the emphasis was, it was a bit challenging when doing an offline class, an online class, and seeking the attention span of the student community. But again, we also had a fun way of alerting the students when they were online. So, for example, normally it's a common practice that when we had an online lecture, the students would switch off their videos, for example,
Yeah.
and and they must be watching a web series on an OTT platform. So what we do is, we wonder the student is he really learning or listening to us? We start alerting the student pinging in random during the session just to keep him awake. Okay, for example, if XY student, we call out your name and we ask him the question of what is being taught.
Yeah.
And there is a prolonged silence for a long time. That same question we will ask the student the next day of the class. So that way, the whole class has been, the same question we'll ask in the same candidate the next day of the lecture. That's the only way we have done it. The other method that we have really done is this. We have two sets. We are not more concerned with having online attendance. What we want students is to learn. So what we do is, we create, learning is the main focus. Whether you learn with the teacher or whether you learn with the online education platforms like edX, Coursera, Udemy, or whether you learn by simply watching a YouTube channel, is what matters to us the most. The student should be able to apply to learn while if they're not listening to a teacher. That's the endeavor. So we've created a hybrid model of teaching and learning for the student community. That's one. What we also have done is we have engaged in a lot of experimentation in terms of assignments and projects for the students. And that project, the students would do it overnight on their iPhones or the camera phones, since we all were at home. And we would tell them to tell their story within the four walls of their home, since we were into lockdown. So that way the students came up with brilliant ideas and brilliant projects during that time. With the results, we are happy to say that some of our students have started their own YouTube channel, creating content and uploading it. So this is part of the academic learning engagement that has happened. Yes. I hope that satisfies your question. If you want me to add something, let me know.
That was perfectly on.
Yeah. Yes.
And ma'am, how do you tend to build a industry connection program for the courses that you mentioned?
Industry Connect is our USP. Okay, what we normally do right from designing the program and the curriculum, we have a lot of industry experts, senior industry veteran experts from different dynamic spaces like advertising, public relations, screenplay writing, direction, cinematography. We have these industry representatives on board. We finalize the curriculum and the course content with them. We pass them at the board of studies meeting. That's the engagement we begin from the day one. Time to time, we interact with these industry veterans and understand what are the new dynamic changes that are happening. And based on their inputs and feedback, we integrate them into a form of a experiential project and live internships. That is one method. Second way of having our industry connect, we have second way of industry connect is every month we have an online media symposium. Since we were in the pandemic, and obviously to give variety is actually a spice of life for film and media students. And of course, we didn't want the students to have a monotony of interacting with their daily faculty. So we had a lot of industry people on board, filmmakers on board, and they would come and interact with the students. Now we have a series called Mediascopic Series, which is a platform for students to interact and connect with CEOs, MDs, vice president, head programming, PR, corporate communication, ad agency, to come and talk to them, and they tell them about the dynamics and the working of the space. So, which in a way, the students also get the real feeler that what are the expectations from the industry players, and what they have to hone their skills by the end of the third year. The third way of industry connect is through our own project and assignment through the power of portfolios and film.
Okay.
For any project they do, they have to take up an industry-based project or a project of a local businessman or a local NGO. They go out, they don't have a hypothetical project. It could be a beauty product of a startup brand. Students go there and make an ad film for that startup, make a documentary of the startup founder, or create a logo, or make a promotion collateral or a website, or do a marketing campaign for them. So in this way, we can do it. We are blessed that many industry experts do approach us for students for short-term live projects during the course. So we identify the best talent and we tell the students that this is a project, let's say an audiovisual film project. Okay, that is a series for 10 days. Or a video editing project, that is a series for 15 days. So we assign the students for 15 days on that task. After 5:30, since everything is digital, we encourage students to take up these online projects just for them to hone the industry and professional networking skills.
Okay.
Having set this apart, at the end of every year, in the first year, students go for 4 weeks of industry live project which they have with the media company. It could be in content writing. It could be anything that is connected to the course that they have learned. The whole idea is not to emphasize on the skill-based learning of the course, but to understand the professional outlook of how the dynamic of industry works. For instance, you come to college with the best of the funky attire, but that is not acceptable in the industry. It is forgivable to come late in my class, but it is unpardonable when you are in a workplace. So time management, stress management, dressing etiquette, communication etiquette is what the entire outlook, working under fixed deadlines, working under pressure, these soft skills, classrooms will not teach them. Handling with bosses, handling with mentors. Right now, students feel protected in our shell, but it's not the same world in the industry. So that is a connect. So the first semester we have 4 weeks. The second year we have 6 to 8 week internship, and in the final semester we have 12 weeks internship. That is the industry connect. We try and bridge to the course. We also invite our industry experts to be on jury for their evaluation of their project, so that students know where they stand in their project.
Yeah.
So, and that gives them a push factor to improve their performances as we move along. We also have collaboration with the industry. For example, currently we tied up with the production house, web production startup house, where our students and their production house are coming up with a web series for their OTT content platform.
Okay.
So we are exploring many such opportunities with these industry houses by way of collaboration, and our students learn in these collaborations time and again when an opportunity comes back. This is what we've done in the current time. But obviously, when we have in the offline mode, students have a full birds in the sky. They go and explore, talk to industry, get sponsors, pitch them. So they learn all the etiquette of the professional world as well as the creative world. Yeah.
It's like really visible that with all the three programs, the focus is on the practical aspect and how the students can understand that what is the thing that the industry needs. And that is
let me also emphasize on one point. At the school, I do not have the rotten examination system method. Our evaluation is very flexible. ऐसा ना हो engineering school में you must have watched the movie of Three Idiots. You'll mug in the night. Next day you will vomit in the paper when you will rattle out in your answer sheet and you'll get your mark. This is not our evaluation method.
Okay.
We do not focus on written exam. Our evaluation is purely on continuous evaluation performance. Okay? We have jury as a mode of evaluation. We have assignment as an evaluation. We have project as an evaluation. But if you make a project, let's say a project is a documentary film. Right from idea creation to the final uploading of the film, marketing of the documentary, there are different steps and phases. We evaluate at every juncture these processes and evaluate the students and give feedback. Okay. At the end of the semester, we evaluate at the midterm level, at the mid of the semester, at the end term. End term, we have a robust panel of jury members based on whichever project you have done. Let's say I give an example of a documentary film, right?
Okay.
You will be asked questions pertaining to that film. We will be evaluating how much the students have applied their theory into application aspect part of it, and that's the secret to evaluating online creative courses. Creativity is abstract. What may be a good film for you may be an average film for me. But in the industry, there is nothing right and nothing wrong. It's not 1 + 1 is equal to 2. How people interpret 1 + 1 is different for different people.
Exactly.
And this is especially for a creative field like advertising, filmmaking, digital marketing, content creation. But the aesthetics and the fundamentals remain the same. How do you apply? It could be a very simple story. Yeah. We give them certain benchmarks that they need to achieve. But we evaluate them whether that story has created an impact technically, creatively, and from a different perspective. Because end of the day, they must learn how to accept audience feedback. It's like a box office every Friday. Nowadays, there is no box office on an OTT platform, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's how it is. So there's no right, no wrong. There are brilliant students who make good in creativity but good in academics. We try and bridge this gap.
What were the challenges that you faced while you were introducing these programs?
The whole endeavor of introducing these programs was to make students to develop their own, to express their creativity with the power of their own thoughts and the value systems that they have. Okay.
Okay.
We always wanted students to look at this course as learning while you have fun. We wanted to always, of course, college life is full of fun and excitement. We wanted students to use their classroom as a platform of creative expression and giving them an ample freedom to reflect and think for themselves, which they were not thinking, because unfortunately the school education system focuses on 100% marks, class 100%, 99.9%. Unfortunately, it's so disheartening to know parents are so sad. They are bound by pure family pressures from their parents, from the competition. But that has not actually taught the new generation how to think and apply for themselves.
Yeah.
So the first challenge is to remove the fear from the student to encourage independent thinking skills and think for themselves, which they were on a little backseat for themselves. Now, to remove this fear, it was really very hard to work with the student fraternity till they accept the nature of this course of flexible evaluation, of jury-based projects, of coming to classes regularly, of doing your projects in time, having monthly evaluation. That adaptability to navigate through that process is what we actually face. We always have this challenge in the first semester, okay, till they actually do, because they come from class 12, 10 standard. We only taught रात को 12 बजे पढ़ो, next day exam and the journey is over and you have forgotten all your concepts. But we've not taught them how to apply those concepts. So when we designed our course, our own mission, at every end of the course, we always thought each course should have a tangible output coming out after they learn. For example, if they learn a course like event management, the tangible output that they should be able to do one event from A to Z of event planning.
Definitely.
And that is a challenge to make that was the challenge for us to assess the marks on that. Otherwise, today if I have a question paper, exam of 50 marks, what are the 5 steps in event planning? Everybody will rattle and give me, I'll get full 100 out of 100 marks, right? But the real testing ground is to feel the pulse, real life experiences of going and organizing an event from the start date till the end date, right from planning till the post-event planning, all that stuff. Same thing happens with documentary. What happens in most of the film schools, we teach them documentary at the end of the student film. When they make a documentary, they watch a documentary, but the output we expect is a documentary of 10 minutes that they need to produce.
Okay.
And that is the skill-based learning. We are here to develop skills. Knowledge can be ingrained through information powerhouse of Google and the MOOCs platform. But skill is something that needs to be honed and practiced and based on your interest level and your competency and your talent. Everyone is talented. Everyone is highly intelligent. Only the level is different. So we work with all kinds of levels. So making with the advancement of technology and their perspective of looking at things today, they are quick and smart learners. So we also adapting to that time. So our nature of projects are also like this. So We had studio projects 1, 2, 3, 4. By the end of every course, they have to show me some project. It could be a music video. It could be doing a digital campaign for an NGO. It could be doing a SEO campaign for a local grocery shop in the neighborhood. The whole idea is because the moment you go real outside world and do things for them, the perspective and the vision is better to understand and learn. That is the biggest challenge, to accept, to be able to think and create independently without the fear of marks and evaluation. Which unfortunately our school education system has taken them to that level. We don't want students to mug up things. We want students to apply what they have learned and remember what they have learned. Nobody remembers what you studied in mathematics or biology and all that. Learn what you love, create what you do is what I believe in.
Till the time we'll keep asking them how much you got in 10th, how much you got in 12th. I am not sure if these things will go, but when programs like these are introduced,
my mark score is the quality. My film, the creativity has to be showcased on international platform, and that is the biggest pinnacle to teaching and learning for us. If my student film wins the national award in a short film competition or showcase at any film festival, that is the biggest achievement that I think my school can ever achieve, which I want you to realize, endeavor in the long run. Yeah.
And the last question that I have for you is that what are the benefits and the career options that the students can look at after pursuing the programs?
Career options are plenty. Media and entertainment, film and media communication. Let me put it this way. Let me retake on this. If you look at the media, entertainment and communication careers, this is one of the few industries which is applicable, where career opportunities are plenty, not only in the media houses, but also in non-media sectors. Tell me which company on this planet Earth can live without media and marketing?
I can't think of anyone, ma'am. Even the B2B companies have now started focusing on those things.
The power of media is there. Power of marketing is there. Whether you are an NGO, whether you are an ad agency, whether you are a college web portal, whether you are a healthcare sector, whether it's a political party, whether it's education sector, whether it's a media sector, also they require the support of media and marketing today. So the career opportunities are plenty. Okay, tremendously plenty. What they are actually looking out for today is multi-skilled, trained professionals. They are not looking at generalists. At the school, this interdisciplinary program aims the students to adopt an interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary skill set for themselves. I will expect my filmmaking students to have some business skills to promote and market their films. I will also expect to have the fundamentals of social media marketing and digital marketing skills to market their product. Gone are the days when you were just writing and you made marks in the newspaper. Today, a journalist will have to know how to click photographs, do photography. A journalist is supposed to record a podcast, and a journalist is supposed to record a TV news bulletin. All three in one. The skills have got integrated. Same thing in digital marketing. They don't expect you to be SEO, SEM. They expect you to know how to create content. At least the grammar of visual communication they expect you to know. They expect you to have some insight on cultural insight or economical insight of how the dynamics work. So that is what a school endeavors. Content manager. Who is the content manager today? You are right. Who is the content manager? Somebody will learn how to shoot a film. Somebody should be able to record a podcast. Somebody will learn how to learn film editing.
Definitely.
This is the current way of looking at content manager. Someone who will manage the content on an everyday basis. Not the traditional way of looking at content, which is a written text or a TV show. So in short, media, entertainment and career industry opportunities are huge. Every sector, whether it's a media house or a non-media house, media, communication and entertainment is the lifeline of any business, and we are here to train the business of these industries.
That's it, ma'am.
This is I would rather go that way with your benefits and careers. Other, if you want me to go BBA film and media में क्या career opportunities है या digital है, let me know. I'll do that.
I think that we covered it pretty well. Like,
if you want, I can. Yes. See, today what the talent industry is looking at, somebody who can be jack of all trades, master of none. Somebody who has at least 3 skill sets to be a valuable employee in an organization. Today, this is because most of the companies are moving towards content marketing in a big way.
Yes,
okay? Right? But what they are expecting one person to write, to direct and to edit. And you have the biggest demand in the marketplace for that. And you will have a upper edge over others if you manage to sell this on the online trade. Everybody would be more than happy. Thank you so much. Thank you, College Dunia, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And I wish you all the best in reaching great heights with this wonderful initiative of reaching out to all the education evangelists and leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.